Dream a little dream of me. Welcome, kindreds. It's Jessica TheStoryWitch, and I just wanted to show you. I was hoping to have not moved into my new journal until June, but I've done an awful lot of actual journaling, filled up this one. I don't even know if you can see that on the camera. It's kind of all busted open now and everything. I finished that like a few days ago in May, and so I've started this journal. I haven't copied every single thing. You've probably seen the opening that I did for this one. I haven't copied everything over into this, but I have copied some things over. So I thought I would just show what I've done in my new journal. I wanted a kind of like quick and dirty setup so I could just get going into my new journal. So these are all the things I had in my last, in my first journal for this year. Yeah, this is still general setup, and then there we go, January. So that's what I had last time. Now this is a kind of simplified, quick and dirty, let's just get going version. I'm going to try and find a sticker. I love this sticker that's on the front of this, so I'm going to try and find something to stick on the front. And I don't know if this one's more shiny, or maybe this one's just kind of lost its... They just get battered, don't they? Because you're using them every day, and you know, it happens. So that's not the first page. This is the first page, which I haven't actually finished yet. I used 2 images out of the Astro Moon Diary, not out of this year's actually. I don't think. I think it was out of last year's or maybe even the year before. With these 2 different trees, they have like the tree symbolism going all the way through these diaries every year, which I really love. And they change with the seasons and things. And this is kind is my word for this year, and I've been just kind of jotting down some different versions of that and what it might mean, and I'm going to continue adding to this. I did a kind of very elaborate collage with lots of different words and things in this one, so it's kind of like a start of that, and I can just leave it open to play with and carry on as I go through the rest of this year. Although if I continue journaling at the rate that I have been journaling at the moment, it's going to definitely be a 3 journal year, which I do have some years. Yeah, and then I wanted to get my cards in for this year, and I much prefer how this looks than how I did it here, which is just a kind of mess. But at least this does have journaling in it, whereas this doesn't. This just has the representation of the cards. I printed stickers off using my HP Sprocket, which I have shown before. It's basically like a little mini printer. Let me just quickly show it if I can get it out of the case. So it's just a little printer, and you load like this kind of shiny photo paper. It doesn't take any ink or anything like that. It does it all through like light, and it's very easy to use. It only obviously prints those one little side, and then they're sticky, so you can use them as stickers, which is really cool. Although the printing paper is quite expensive, so you do have to kind of factor that in as well. But I love, especially for card journaling, which is the main reason why I got it. I want to be able to like take a photograph of my cards or take a photo of my spread and stick it in, and then be able to journal about it. I used some just like background stuff which kind of resonated for me in here, and kept it kind of basic like that. But yeah, I really love it. It's very light on each card. You can edit on the app for the printer, so I've added the months onto the actual stickers, so it doesn't kind of jump out immediately, but I know which one's which, and they kind of are basically chronological. So yeah, that is that. My contents, which I haven't written anything on at all yet. My key, which is very similar, probably not quite as nice actually, because I did it a lot quicker than in my first journal for this year. I really liked how that one is. It's just kind of a bit more, I don't know, somehow more satisfying. So yeah, that's my key. And then just a kind of title page of 2020. And here I put my cards that weren't my card of the month, but my like cards for the whole year, which are from a few different decks. This one's from the Weaver's Oracle. You've probably seen my video about that, where I talk about my heron, and Lisa drew that card for me, Lisa Tarot Alchemist, and I'm going to be working with this Weaver all year. I am working with her, learning from her this year. which has been really profound actually. I'm really enjoying that. I might talk about that more at the end of the year. I don't kind of feel ready to talk about it just yet because it's still kind of a in process thing. I have Raccoon, or Trash Bear as my kids like to call it, from the Jessica Swift Spirit Animal Allies deck. This is the Great Wheel from the Woman Runes, and this is Self Heal from the Illustrated Herbiary, from Maya Toll's Illustrated Herbiary. I believe I've shown all of these decks on my channel before. I'm going to try and be a bit more proactive with sharing my decks on the channel, because I know I just kind of assume you've seen them all before, but actually I think it'll be fun and it would be nice. They would be cool videos, so I'm going to try and make more of an effort to do that. And I've got my reading log. I haven't filled my reading log in this one. I think I've only read like about 15 books or something so far this year, but I will probably run out of space, so I'll have that and I'll start noting them in here, because then I can know that that's from this time onwards. Video ideas, I've just started jotting a few things down. I filled my video ideas page in there, so I've got deck reviews, new decks, make your own subscription box. I felt a bit sad. I can't remember even when it was. I was thinking about how when I used to get my subscription boxes. Sorry, I'm just going to have a quick swig of tea. And I loved getting the subscription boxes, but I also didn't love how like sometimes some of the items wouldn't be relevant to me, or I also don't like the idea of lots of packaging and things like that. And I was thinking, what about if I could create a way of getting things that would actually be useful for me? Because I tend to not buy very much stuff, and that's something that came out for me during depth year. Anya Esmer also talked about this, as she is a person who tends to not buy, so having like a low buy thing can kind of exacerbate almost those tendencies to not buy. Sorry, you might be able to hear my husband's songwriting for his new album, and you might be able to hear him in the background, so sorry if you can. He's quite loud. So I am thinking that I will, because I lost my train of thought then because I was listening to him. So I am not an easy purchase person. I put a lot of thought generally into making new purchases, so I thought rather than not buy, especially at the moment now where there's lots of like small businesses suffering and things like that, and it's very uncertain what's going to happen, if I have available money to spend, which at the moment luckily things are okay, and so I do, then I'm going to kind of pull together a little, it's obviously not a subscription box, it's not like a surprise, but I'm going to pull together a few items along a kind of theme and bring them all together as a kind of like little gift to myself. And I thought perhaps I could share those here on the channel if you guys would be interested. So let me know if you think you might be interested in that. And I'll add more video ideas to there. If you've got ideas for me, pop them down. Then Truth, this is mainly like a quotes page. I've completely filled the one that was in the start of this one, but and I also made a new one, and maybe even two actually, double spreads of this as I go through. But I also sometimes note down just like actual things I realise that are truths, but I haven't thought about it like that. So normally I had, in my last one, I had a must do and a might do, but actually I felt like the might do deserved a whole 2-page spread of its own. So that is what I've made here. And instead of having like a overall must do list, which is kind of already in my first journal, I've got to stop calling it my main journal. I don't know why. It's like, I suppose because it's my main one I've been using at the moment, and this is very new. So yeah. And then this page turned out crap. I don't love it, but it is what it is. This is my things that I want page, and so far the only thing I want is a Kindle, because my Kindle has ceased to be supported. It's so old now. It's like one of the very, very, very old ones that doesn't even have a light or anything. And now I can still read the books that are on it. It charges up still, and I can read the books that are on it, but I've obviously already read those. And the software now does not sync up with Amazon anymore, so I can't actually download any new books onto it, which is basically become obsolete, which is sad, but I guess that is the world that we live in right now, is that things are made to be obsolete. So I am going to get a new Kindle. I have not learnt from my experience with my first one. Okay, so this page is commitment. I am taking some courses and things at the moment. I suppose courses is probably a bit dramatic to call them, like some classes and things like that. And I tend to note those down here so I can just see what I've got on at the moment, what I'm taking on. Also things like my regular commitments, like home educating my children, things like that will go on here. Just as like a kind of reminder, because sometimes I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And then I'm like, oh, I actually have got quite a lot that I am already doing. So it can help to kind of keep me focused, and also helps my boundaries, because I can see actually, no, I'm going to have to say no to that because I can't actually fit that in at the moment. So yeah, things like my red tent circle and the full moon circle, home educating the kids, and then also any classes or courses and things that I'm taking, or like any personal commitments I've undertaken, like last year where I was working with the 365 days of tarot, things like that would go in there as well. So I find that useful to do. And then whoop, straight in, because I only got as far as today, the 21st, the 20th in this book. I'm ready to start, and I just laid out my pages for this is how I've been doing it, and I'm finding this works really, really well. It's got enough space that I can kind of put everything that I need to do, and yeah, it's working really, really well. I'm just going to flick to the back. I added this poem, which is absolutely gorgeous, called Every Mother. Arms surround this sleeping child, lifting her body, her weight, shifting her heavy head against my chest. Her dark, straight hair slides across sleeping lids. Dreaming child, cheeks flushed, completely at peace in her mother's arms. Up the stairs to bed in the deep moonlit night, so heavy this child of mine. Chubby legs long in the bone, making the climb difficult, so heavy. Hasn't every other mother carried a child just so, bearing the weight with determination? Yes, yes. Every mother, in every time, in every place, in every space on this planet. I am transformed, I am connected. By this weight I bear, I am linked across eternity to every mother, every place in the world, every time of the world. I am every mother. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? And that was out of, I think, last year's Wee Moon. But yeah, kind of makes me cry. I haven't done anything on these pages yet, but I might do. And I've just got a very basic future log. I didn't put June because it will be June soon enough, and I don't need to do that. I've still got that in the back of there. So I've just gone July and August bigger, even though like obviously not a lot is happening at the moment because we are still kind of in our house arrest. But hopefully as things move on, there will be some nice things I can add into there. And then that is it. All these glorious, gorgeous, empty pages. And that is it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Warmest, warmest blessings. And I will see you very soon.